Welcome to
We're
Coombe and
live.
Curry Trading Cards, Episode 1.
There we go.
6 months in. Is that all right? Does that sound good?
Let's carry on. Let's go with it. Yeah.
Carry on, that's good.
Good intro. Yeah, good start. I like that.
All right, so yeah, I'm Curry, and yourself's Coombe.
Cool.
Let's get straight into it. How long have you been collecting cards, and how did you get into it?
Well, that's as that is the title of the podcast. 6 months ish. Yeah, it's a weird one because I have probably watched Seahawks now for, I think I'm in 9th year. Absolute dream of mine was to go to Lumenfield, and I went with Lemmers in November and one of our friends. And we went to Pike Market, amongst other things. And I don't know what triggered it. That's the weird thing. But on the sort of heading to the trip, one of the things I wanted to do was find a card shop. And that's the bit that at the minute still eludes me from the memory of it. Like, I don't know what triggered that or why it was, but we went to Pike Market, and you go down, incredible place, but you go down one level, and there was this old card shop at the back. I go in there, I'm looking at the cards, and I just thought, I'll get a Seahawks card. More for just something from the trip, like a memory thing. And I see this one of Tyler Lockett, had a look at it, thought, $85 it was. But what's funny is, being 6 months in now, and having done trades, buying cards and stuff like that, it's probably didn't take the right approach. But I didn't actually buy it on that first day, and I thought if it's still there the next day, I'll buy it. So we go back in, and I picked it up, and I thought, right, I'm going to go for it. Took it to counter, a guy said $85, and didn't bother to negotiate or anything like that. Now, in hindsight, 6 months in, with the knowledge that I've got and stuff like that, definitely overpaid for it. But said card is here. We've got
that's a beauty.
Nice Tyler Lockett. It's a Topps Chrome one, rookie card, and it is 203 out of 250. $85 I paid. But I think that's definitely a card that I will never. That'll always be in the PC. Never sell that.
That'll always be your first card that you bought. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But the funny thing of this story is that took it home, put it in. So this was last November or November 24. Took it home, liked it, put it in a drawer. I didn't pick it up till mid-Jan. And I was at home one day, get it out the drawer. I'm having a look at it, and I thought to myself, because I'm a massive Jackson Smith and Jigba fan, so I thought I'll jump on eBay and see if I can get a nice JSN card, and the rest is history, as they say. But didn't just purchase the one, but that was it, non-stop. So I would say my hardcore card collecting has been, since I picked that up in January. And I think every bit of money I've had since has gone on cards. Absolutely addicted.
I've got a couple of questions going back to your Pike Market experience. How much would, if you were back in that experience with what you know now, how much would have you tried to barter down to? What do you think would be a reasonable amount of money? Because not only is that it's a numbered card, right? It's also graded as well. Did you buy it graded?
Yeah, no, I bought it graded. Yeah, it's not one of the like the mainstream graders, 5-star grading. I've googled them since. It seems like a fairly small outfit, but yeah, it's funny, that question, because I wouldn't actually change that, because it's kind of a funny story as well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of where I've overpaid it makes it sort of mildly amusing when you look back now. But the only way, if you think about it, the only way that I would have negotiated a price or gone down is if I was already an experienced collector, which would take away from the story. So I think that's another thing I think everyone's like that. I don't think that's unique to us, but you get your first card. I'm sure everyone's got hold of it and got it in their collection. But I feel like the overpaying of it actually makes it more of an interesting or funny story.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's a banger of a card, to be fair.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I
Yeah, it's
love
a nice card.
the
It's
Topps
not.
Chrome collections. Really
Yeah,
nice.
that's I think a nice transaction into what you're collecting at the minute and how you got into it, because you're more on the, I hate to say this, but you're more on the soccer side, football, as it should be called,
Yeah, yeah,
which it's quite big for the tops, isn't it? Because you've obviously got your match attacks
mm.
and stuff like that. You've got your Panini side, your adrenaline and things like that. But yeah, let's tell the hopefully millions of listeners what's triggered it for you and what you're collecting at the minute.
Yeah. So, I mean, originally going back to when I was a kid, I was probably, as I spoke to you the other day about the World Cup '94 cards. Found them in
Yeah,
the garage the other day, which were upper deck.
yeah,
Um,
lovely,
so
lovely cards they were.
growing up, I loved Premier League sticker albums. I had them since I was, I don't know, 6 or 7. The
Premier
first,
League '95,
the
Jamie
first, the
Redknapp on the
first,
front.
yeah, the first football tournament I remember, was World Cup '94.
Yeah,
So having that experience as a kid, I was 7 years old. Um, I've got the cards from them. I've got a sticker album in the garage, and then that's when the Premier League albums started coming through. And then I started collecting Pro Match, in which I found out was from 1996. So they were like caricature pictures of just British footballers.
yeah.
Uh,
This is what you were
and they,
telling me the other day, wasn't it? About because
so
it
Pro
didn't
Match.
ring a bell with me. Yeah,
No, I'll fish them out. I saw them the other day, but they're quite funny. They're like caricature drawings on the front. You turn it over, and it's got like an actual picture of the player and like their details and who they pay for, etc., and all that.
yeah,
So I used to collect them. I used to trade them at school, and yeah, for years I was collecting stickers mainly as a kid. Obviously, grew up, other things came into play, and then always had my eye on cards, but never really bought any. Just sort of like, saw them online or saw them in shops. And then we started talking in earlier this year, and you were telling me about all these cards that you'd got or you were going to buy, and then you sent me a package from New Zealand to us here in the south coast of England, and I got this. I remember coming home from work, and the wife said, "Oh, there's a parcel on the table for you." I went, "Oh yeah." I picked it up. As soon as I picked it up, I knew it was your handwriting. I
yeah.
went, "Here you go." And she went,
I
"Well,
just I needed to bring someone down with me. That's what it was. I knew the addiction was real. I thought I need to bring someone down with me. I'm gonna hook him in.
hook, line, and sinker." I was in as soon as I
Yeah,
opened that pack. I remember opening it literally over here to the right of me. Hannah was probably shaking her head behind me,
yeah.
my wife, and I was. Yeah, you sent me a mix of, well, mainly NFL cards.
Nice
Uh,
Packers in there, I think, wasn't there?
yeah, and obviously, yeah. So for me, NFL wise, Green Bay is my team. You sent me a kit relic card.
Yeah, that's
Um,
it.
I can't remember the name, and that card was as soon as I picked that one up, I was like, "That's what I'm in the market for." Those
And
sort
you
of like,
posted that on our Instagram as well, didn't you? I
absolutely did,
remember
because
seeing that come up as a post.
that was the first card I'd seen in the flesh of something that was unique to a card.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
I look back at the cards that I got when I was a kid. There were no signature cards. If they were signatures, they were actually physically signed by, the
yeah,
person
yeah,
whose
yeah.
card it was. They never had that. They never had parts of kits, parts of, the football, whatever it is.
Yeah, there's parts of balls these days. It's got everything. I see a Jamie Vardy one today with the top part of his boot
I
integrated
mean,
into the card.
and I think that's why that's elevated the trading game
Yeah,
so much, because that proper limited edition, proper like collector's items. Whereas you probably didn't, the only collector's items, if you look back at like old like Jordan cards and all that, it's probably like rookie cards mainly, or maybe a signed one that
yeah,
someone's met him now, like going for silly money. So that card, that relic card, relic, is that the right term? Of something with a bit
Yeah,
of a
oh yeah,
kick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Look, obviously you get with them the more rare ones are like the player worn stuff, but they tend to be now like not from. I mean, on the back they'll say like not from a specific game or event, but there's a lot of good videos on YouTube where people take them apart, and then on the back you can see that like there might be a tag of what player it's come from, and it's not usually the player that's on the card, but it's still cool that it's still a part of their kit. You know, it's something that they've added to the card.
Right, yeah, and then obviously then from that, I think you sent me some like match attacks, like base cards, football ones, soccer ones, if you will, swear word. And I from there, I started collecting match attacks, buying the packs, the tins, from my local Morrison's actually, cleared them out. And then I went to eBay and opened up a whole new world. I think the first card I bought was a Trent Alexander-Arnold, the relic one. I think I only got it for like a couple of quid. Yeah, we don't speak too much about him
No.
these days. Otherwise, but
divisive character, isn't he?
Yeah. So that from there, it was for me being a Liverpool fan, Liverpool football. That's my personal collection is collecting Liverpool cards, but I'm also collecting match attacks for this season, and I will do probably next season as well.
That's the interesting thing, isn't it? You've when we talk about how we've approached it and kind of the level as a kid, I did all the stickers and stuff like that, but I never had a card. So literally that Tyler Lockett card for me. And again, I don't know where it came from, what triggered it, but that literally was my first card. So, whereas with you, you've got this, as a kid, you had cards and stuff like that, but where we've kind of now started, you're kind of more steady, you're more into the football / soccer side of things, whereas I'm more NFL, and I've gone hard. I have gone hard.
I think the difference currently with both our collections is, I think I have a bit of OCD with collecting, going back as a kid for sticker albums and cards, because I feel like I always feel unfulfilled that I haven't collected the whole collection.
Yeah, but I think that's a common thing, isn't it? And that's something that I think as time goes on with these podcasts, that's something we can explore, because it's interesting that you say about the OCD side of it, because I've got a weird habit of overanalyzing, overthinking, and stuff like that. And I think what initially drove the need to go hard for me was I absolutely loved it. That from that moment, I picked up the Tyler Lockett slab and decided to go for the JSN cards and more Seahawks. Something, that ignited something in me, and I think for me it was a race to get a really good baseline collection. And that's something that probably needs to be toned down, dialed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to control that, but I think now, although I say that, my wife wouldn't agree. Some interesting conversations, but I feel like I'm toning it down, but maybe I'm not. But now I've got that base collection, and you've got a couple of like, some almost grail cards, stuff that you really proud to have in your collection. Now I feel like that's something that we'll discuss is you start then looking at your collection and throttling it back. So you go, what do I really want to collect? What do I want in my collection? And that's been an interesting phase of my collecting. So, but I think even having said all this, I'm probably lying in the fact that I've not throttled it back. I think that's probably a lie I'm telling myself.
I mean, it's difficult. Like the buzz of getting these grail cards and relic cards and autograph cards. These are all like, majority of them will go into your personal collection, and securing them cards or buying them or getting them in a live break, which I've still yet to touch. It's a buzz, isn't it? It's an adrenaline rush.
100%.
Keep going back for more. Yeah.
I think we could probably do a whole episode though on as you touched on there. Again, what's going to be interesting as time goes on is how we collect. You know, how you
Definitely.
how you get your cards, and what experiences you've had with that. Because for me, it has changed. You know, like that initial start was buying boxes of cards, but then you know, like I've spoke to a lot of. What's been really good for me here is the card community in New Zealand is pretty small, but when you're in it, it feels huge. So the people that
Right.
you're dealing with, and then you're going into breaks and stuff like that. I've started some friendships now through the card community, but admittedly, some I've been to the New Zealand card show in Wellington, and there was a trade night before, so it was nice to actually put some faces to names.
Yeah.
But like, I've made some friends that actually I've still not met in the flesh, but we talk a lot. And what's funny is how many people have the same story. And there seems to be at the same time a lot of new people in the collecting world. But yeah, the stories are so similar, and I think that's going to be an interesting topic. Is how you turn something that you're passionate about, enjoy, into something that's got longevity and is affordable. And I think if I go on at the rate I'm going,
Found in a
I could
ditch
be in a lot
somewhere.
of trouble. Yeah, it could be solicitors on the horizon. So I know that it's got to be throttled back and it's got to be under control. And I think that's going to be part of the journey, isn't it? You know,
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
definitely.
Yeah, funny you should say that about the community that you've got in Wellington and New Zealand. Whereas, so obviously you're mainly posting a lot on Instagram, and I sort of take the TikTok side in terms of
Yeah,
video breaks of boxes and tins and whatnot. So that's where I've sort of spoke to people in the social media side. But in terms of like, I haven't been to an event yet, but I'm really looking forward to going to like a card con or whatever you call them, like a showcase or whatever it is, to go down. And I've not really been to like a market like you have, where it's like specifically cards just to buy. I've sort of
but
gone
that's
down
happening in
through.
December, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
for all the listeners out there, we will be brought together
yeah,
in England over the Christmas period, and we will be going to numerous different ones. I think we've got one planned in for Edenbridge in Kent,
yeah. That's it.
a potential one in Germany.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's lots
yes.
of horizons, and obviously I went to the Fanatic store in
I was going to
central
say,
London.
tell us about that. Tell us about how that was, because I was certainly when I saw about you'd mentioned it to me, but I'd seen a lot of posts about it.
Yeah.
But when you told me some of the things that was going on there, and tell us about the card, because that's something you can't get away with not being there. And yeah, tell us about that.
I think it might have been like the week before. We went to a car boot fair, and I found a stand of cards.
Yeah,
This guy was selling these cards, and they were like 10p a card, and he had like, I don't know, Game of Thrones and Star Wars and Pokemon, and then to the left he had some sport cards, and they were all quite
yeah,
just base cards, and going through them, and I found some old Liverpool players from the 90s.
yeah.
I had like Robbie Fowler, David James,
Feel bad.
John, John no Phil Babb, unfortunately. Gutted he wasn't there. John Scales.
Yeah,
But they were just like, I think they were just like base cards. But they look really good. They look really nice. I don't think I've shown you them yet, but they were like, I got like a Jota Adrenaline,
yeah,
like Refractor or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so I got them, and then like a week later we went to London, and we went to a spa morning, lovely, nice and relaxed, and then we
right
booked
for some.
it was really nice actually, proper nice in Mayfair as well in London.
Oh,
So it
very
was
nice.
the posh part.
How the
So
other
then we
half
walked,
live.
yeah, and then we booked lunch in. It was the other side of Trafalgar Square. No, other side of Piccadilly Circus. Sorry. So I looked at the map, and the spa was here, the restaurant was here,
Yeah,
and the Fanatics was here.
meant to be.
it was meant to be. I said to her, I said, look, as we're walking this way, don't mind if I pop into this
Yeah.
Fanatics store. Do you
So
collectibles?
let's have a little look down here. I think there's some
And I
shops.
think,
Oh, is it Fanatics? Yeah.
oh look where we are. It just opened the weekend before.
Coincidence.
It worked. The timing wise, it worked out really well for me. Not for
Yeah.
her. It worked out really well for me.
Did you
and
know you were going to Fanatics, or did you play it as a?
I did mention it to her before. I said, look,
Yeah.
if we got time, we'll pop in.
If we got time, yeah.
If we got time. And funnily enough, actually, the spa overran. They actually gave us longer, so we went to the spa.
Yeah.
We had to walk past
checking the time.
Yeah.
An hour left.
Yeah, we thought it was a half-hour treatment. They went, "Oh, you've got an hour." I went, "You're joking." That's going to limit my time. That's going to limit my time in Fanatics now.
Yeah.
So we got to the time, and then we had to go from the spa to the restaurant to the booking for lunch, and then after lunch we then came back and went to Fanatics, and it was at the bottom of Regent Street. I used to work on Regent Street years ago when I lived in London, and it was an unbelievable store.
It looks good. It does look good.
I saw the videos of the opening and photos and stuff, and I spoke to you and I said, look, if I'm up there next week, I'll try and pop in. And it was unreal. Like loads of staff, loads of different sections, loads of different sports. And some of the cars are unreal. They've got like some old WWF cards, which obviously we're both really interested in. Like some
HBK.
HBK cards, Hulk Hogan cards, Ultimate Warrior, like all these graded old cards from like the 90s. Memorabilia, so they had like this old heavyweight belt. And that was just like, so you walk in and there's like bestsellers on the left. You walk in, you tilt to the right, and then there's got like Formula One, wrestling, football, like NFL, baseball, just like basic like.
You name it, they've got it.
Yeah, packets and boxes really. Then you move into the next room and it's like specific individual cards, like graded cards. So there's like a circular I guess till point, if you will. There's somebody on there and they're telling you like, oh yeah, this is. So the first thing I walked in, I saw a Lewandowski signed Bayern Munich card, and it was I think $1,000 or just under $1,000.
Yeah,
one. And then there's just an array of different cars in all these booths around, and you've got like all these sections of different sports, and then you move into the next room and it's a live break area, and people can go in and you can film yourself breaking.
Were there any breaks going on while you were there? Or?
There wasn't. I did see a couple of guys with two like big storage cases, like the briefcase. So they were obviously like serious dogs. Serious business. And it was just like full of slabs, and they were talking to somebody that worked there. I think they were, I don't know if they can do like trades or they can like value it. I'm not too sure, but was walking through. Sorry, go on.
No, and I was going to say, tell us about this card. I want to tell the listeners about this card because this is something I'm hoping they still do when I come. Because
well, yeah, they most certainly will be doing it because it's part of the store. So
okay.
I walked through to the back, and there was it was like what can I say, like sports, like dugout seats, and there was a big screen,
nice,
and you can watch like
those race car style seats.
Yeah, exactly, but they were the fold down ones.
Yeah.
And then there was like this little room that I just obviously me being me, I just walked around. I went, I'll walk in this room. There was a football on the floor, like an American football or a soccer ball. And I walked in and someone clocked me, one of the workers clocked me go in, and they were like, oh, how's it going? How can I help? I was like, oh, what's this little, this place?
Crack here, yeah.
And he was like, you can get your own card done, your own personalised like 1-of-1 card.
Yeah.
I looked at the wife, I said, you better take a seat. You better take a seat.
Sit down.
Gave her all the shopping bags, I mean, you better take a seat.
Didn't even ask the cost, just get it done.
Yeah. And all of the staff in there were proper sound. Like I bought a Match Tax Madness box, which was specific to the store. You could only buy it there. You can't buy them online. There's packs and boxes. I bought a box for like £30, and then went back and bought the did the 1-on-1 card. So I went in. The guy said, "What ball do you want to hold?" And I was like, "Obviously football." So I put football under my arm. They take a photo. They ask if you're happy with the photo. I think I asked if you'd taken again. Took it again. I was like, "That's the one. That's the one."
There it is. Yeah.
You went go around to the till point, speak to my colleague, and they'll sort it out for you. I was speaking to this gentleman, and he was really funny. He kept cracking jokes and kept knocking on the wall next to me. He went, "Look, I'm going to knock on this wall, and if they knock back, it's ready." Like, it was like a secret room, and I was like, "Oh right."
What's it?
It was like a small, like almost like a little post box coming out the wall with a little lever to open. He kept knocking on, and they weren't knocking back, and I was like, "What's going on here?" Then it's taking a bit of time. Eventually, got a knock back, and he went, "Open the drawer that was in the wall." I opened the drawer, and what can only be described as smoke came out.
Really?
Smoke came out. I put my hand in it, picked it out, and it was in a box, and it was smoking. But there was smoke coming out of it. I didn't know if it was dry ice or I don't know, that's something. But I think it might have been where
you think something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I thought, what's this? I want a box of smoke, and basically I think where they glued the slab together.
Oh yeah.
It was still like, I don't know, cooling off or whatever. It looked well good, and I'm gutted I didn't get a video of it. But like, I walked past these two guys, and they were like, "Whoa, what's going on there?" sort of thing. Walked over to my wife, and I was like, "Look at this," and she was probably like, "What's he just bought?"
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a 1-of-1 Fanatics card in a slab, and yeah, it looks class. I've actually got it here.
Oh yes, I was going to ask.
Yeah, it comes in a decent little like London collectibles
nice.
box.
Yeah.
So this was
It's really
smoking.
nice.
This was smoking. And there it is.
Oh
the
yeah.
1-of-1.
No, I love that. Yeah.
Congratulations on your very own 1-of-a-kind.
There you go. 1-of-1. A 1-of-1 Martin Curry.
Well spent. Stick that on eBay. I'll probably go for a couple of grand, I reckon.
Is it gold? What is it?
I'll sign it if you want. It'll go up in value.
Yeah.
So,
it's a nice piece, that.
Yes, obviously Fanatics is they've got a deal with Topps, right? I think.
Yeah, I think they own Topps now, don't they?
Yeah, so it's like a proper legit like Topps card.
Yeah, they're getting the. I'm sure people listening will correct me if I'm wrong, but they're getting the license. I think 2026 for NFL.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to be interesting because, again, being new, 6 months in, I feel like already I've got a real good understanding of the products and stuff like that in the NFL range. But a lot of people have been collecting for years and years. They know, like this, for example, is Topps, and it's licensed. So that's when they would have last had the license.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so this year, personally, I've opted not to go into breaks and stuff for the top stuff because they still do NFL. But it's like unlicensed, so they take off the logos and the kit manufacturer and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, I've seen some of that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that we've yourself and I have chatted about, is that we want to discuss. What's been fascinating for me is the link to value, rarity of the cards, and why people collect, and because there's a lot of, you go on posts and you see comments where someone else might be slacking someone else off because they're asking how much something's valued. And then you get these sort of kind of old school or long-term collectors who go, "Oh, you should only collect for this reason." And I think it's a strange point of view, because to me, there's a link, even with your numbered cards, there's a link to the cards being serial numbered or low numbered, and your super short print cards, because everything's linked. Your rarity, your serial number side of it, and it is linked to the value. And I think for me, generally, I want the cards that look nice, and I want low numbered cards. And there's certain cards that you kind of want as part of your collection, and I'm not fully sure what drives that yet, but it's definitely fascinating to see, or it has been fascinating to see, the reasons why and people's attitudes to it. But I think that's definitely a topic for another podcast. We could talk for a long time about that.
What about like collections
It's
and
definitely a fascinating topic.
yeah, what in terms of like what you should collect or why? Like, there's no real rules, is there? But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And
we could
everyone's reasons are different. I personally don't think it's unfair or unreasonable for some people to collect, almost like this, because different things make people tick, and that's kind of again something else we talk about when it comes to discussion around breaking is that there is an addiction there, and that's linked to the gambling side of it. You're paying money, you're buying a team, and I find it hard for myself when I win, I get a big hit. That makes me want to go again, at the same amount as when I don't get nothing, I want to go again.
yeah, that's the draw.
So yeah, and part of my journey so far has been dealing with that because I've got an addictive personality. So there's this whole other element to it, and I think that's why yourself and I chatting about how you collect and stuff like that is important, because to maintain this long term and be able to collect something that I really like, having a nice collection, being able to look through them, I feel like I have to myself. I need to get that under control,
Yeah,
and like the mere fact that me and you are sitting here now, we've done our TikTok, we've done our Instagram, and now we're doing a podcast, and something we haven't talked about yet is the playlist. I think we should mention that shortly, but the fact that we're doing this is that at the age we are now, 38, getting on a bit, but to have the passion already in something that's fairly new for us, but to want to be in that community, doing the podcast, having the chats, doing the Instagram, it shows how much we love it already.
yeah,
But
100%.
for me to maintain that, I need to get my shit in order.
For much of another word, yeah.
Yeah, because I am absolutely addicted.
You're
I
in the
love it.
deep end, boy.
I love it. Yeah, exactly, mate. I love mail days. I love breaking. I just love it.
Yeah, well, on the topic of mail day, before we speak about the playlist, what have you had this week in the mail in terms of orders or buys?
Yep, good question. I had a good week actually. I've had a PSA 10 Russell Wilson White Sparkle,
Lovely.
which was like when I get off eBay or from the States, I try and get stuff that's already graded, because in my head, the shipping to New Zealand is fairly expensive, but that is probably cheaper than actually if you were in the States to pay and get it graded with PSA.
Yeah, works out.
So I tend to go graded. I got a Steve Largent signed Hall of Fame card, but that was a PSA, but it was just to say that the signature was authentic, because the guy I bought it off he got it done at a card show in the States.
Okay.
But what's really cool about that is he's under his signature, he's put HOF for Hall of Fame, and he's put 95.
Love that.
So I feel like it's quite a unique. And technically speaking, it's a one of one, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
been done. He signed it. It's been authenticated. So that was nice. And then a guy in a break. One of the guys I've become quite friendly with here is a guy called Nick Blinko, who is funny because our stories are so similar.
Get him on the pod.
Some of the conversations we have are funny. Like we were joking the other day saying about being each other's sponsor, but when we go into breaks, I'm thinking of going into a break. Don't do it. But I tend to go for Seahawks. But this year they're quite, or for 2024, they're not one of the most expensive teams because of the rookies and stuff. And so to get some nice cars in my collection and kind of a base for trading, I go for a few other teams. But on a particular break, we'd done, I think it was random teams, and he'd got Seahawks. And I think an hour before the break, he asked to switch, which was perfect. I took Seahawks, and I can't remember who I gave him. But on that break, it was for a product called Phoenix, and out came an AJ Barner 1 of 10 gold card. And what's funny is I instantly felt guilty, even though he'd done the trade, because if I was watching, I'd be like, "Fuck's sake, taking the piss." That should have been my card. But he was great. Like, he messaged me and said, "No, I'm pleased you got a good card," and he said he would have done a deal with me anyway. But that's triggered. I'd gone on eBay and I actually found the number 3 of 10.
All right.
And
Okay.
purchased that. So that came. So I've now got the 1 of 10, the 3 of 10, and they're in the international gold. And then I've bought the gold. There's just like a solid gold one as well. So I've got 3 gold number to 10 AJ Barners. They came this week. What else did I have?
Love
I
that.
had
Straight into the personal collection.
100%, mate. Yeah, 100%. But that, obviously, I would have collected the AJ Barners anyway. But the fascination with the gold came from that trade with Nick, which was really good. And I'm currently watching I didn't know it existed. I'm gonna have a look actually as we're speaking. But there was a card to go on this watch list. It was number to 4. You're gonna have to bear with me, yeah.
No problem.
But it was another AJ Barner, and it was called. I'll find it. I'm struggling to find it now. Here we go. A Dreamweaver, a Phoenix.
Oh,
And I thought I knew the Phoenix product quite well, but yeah, this is number to 4. It's a super short print AJ Barner Dreamweaver, but it's a lovely looking card. So it's on for 7 days though, so it could be a while before I find out about that. But the other card I got in the mail was I don't know if you could describe it as an error card, but it was I'll just find it here, a Tariq Woolen Optic Contenders card, and I think they call it a neon something, a marble neon or neon marble. But that was also number to 4. But it's actually got him listed down as a running back on the front, and I noticed
right.
that straight away. But he's not; he's a cornerback, so it's a bit of a funny one, that. But the card is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's a lovely card. So yeah, it's been quite a big. And then I had a couple of packages turn up from Card Crazy, which is a card company over here in New Zealand. They do a lot of breaks, and I go with them quite a bit. And KCC, Kiwi Card Collective.
Nice.
A guy called Nick. That was my first experience of breaking. That's something we'll go into at some stage. But they're the 2 I use, because if I go with more, that's my 18-year marriage done.
Down the drain.
I think two's too many already, but they're the guys I use. But yeah, it's been quite, in terms of mail day. It's been a busy one. Yourself?
Nice. Well, yeah, I've had a couple. I guess the last fortnight I had a couple of busy ones. It was my birthday, so I got a Liverpool team set and
Yep.
a chrome box. Treated myself for my birthday. 2 big cards out of that. I got the Virgil relic number to 99 from the Liverpool
Yeah, that
set.
was nice. I saw that.
Yeah, that was real nice. And then I got an Alphonso Davies number to 299 from the Chrome set. But the whole set of the Chrome cards is beautiful. Tempted
Yeah.
to get in a box or maybe a hanger box just to see if I can pull something nice. And then I bought from eBay Florian Wirtz. Pink refractor number to 250.
Nice.
I bought him because obviously he was moving to Liverpool, and I thought try and
Get
get
in
a
there
card
quick.
from Bayer Leverkusen before he moved. Got it for a couple of quid. Potentially straight into the personal collection. See how he gets on. But
He's going to be huge as well, isn't he? He's going to be huge.
he's a wonder kid. Yeah, he's going to be big. I've also just bought 3 tins of the Match Attacks ballers. So the Invincible, the box office ballers, and the Giants of the game. So that'll be coming this week. And
Nice.
that's where I'm at.
Nice. So it's been a good week for you as well then, in terms of mail day.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah. I think I think we should for the first episode's been good. It's I think people appreciate for us getting off to a nice start. To know what we're about, why we're doing it, it's been good, and I think we've covered quite a bit actually, probably more than we had initially planned. And I think that I think it's gone well. I think it's a good start.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm
Been great.
hoping that I'm hoping in time that we can some of the topics we spoke about tonight will go into more detail. You know, like the breaking side of it and the addiction side of it and stuff like that. And what I think we're both keen to do is get people on at some stage as well to talk about their collections, the PC, talk about their experience as well. Because, you know, like I was saying to you tonight, the people I've spoke to, it's funny how many people's stories are the same.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a
Yeah,
lot of topics to cover, haven't we? And hopefully we'll get some fellow community card collectors on to talk about their journey as well.
yeah, and have a good laugh as well. And I think hopefully people will watch this, maybe resonate with some of the things. That's a word. That's the word at the minute, isn't it? Resonate.
Yeah.
Everything's about resonating. But you know, hopefully it resonates with someone, and we can get some people from everywhere. You know, like people who we might not even know now to come and say their stories. And I think that's what we want to achieve. We want to just have those conversations and stuff like that, because it's such a cool hobby, isn't it? It's fun. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
buzzing.
yeah, but I think the playlist. So we are what's the date? We're approaching the end of the month, aren't we? So I've been looking for a theme. So something something we'll get into down the line, but you're into some other stuff as well, and it's something that, as I said to you the other day, the idea was driven from something you do from your fashion and your music side.
Yep.
Where I really like the idea of that. So I started the playlist, obviously June, and I think the theme was Seattle based for me because obvious reasons, Seahawks fan. So we put out our first playlist in June, and I've been working on July's, and I think the theme, as discussed with yourself, is going to be the last 12 posts. So I think we're going to keep our playlist now to 12 songs, and July's playlist is going to be the music that we've used from the last 12 posts. And I think, for me, it's not random. When you go on Instagram and you look at the players and you look at the songs, try
Yeah.
and get the right music to make the post different, because there's a lot of accounts on there that are trying to do similar things, and it's cool, looking through people's stuff and things like that. But I think we wanted to make ours stand out a little bit. So we're using colours, we're using backgrounds and stuff like that, and carefully selecting the music to make the page interesting. And we want people to look at what we're collecting, what we're pulling, and stuff like that. So a lot of thought goes into that. So July's playlist will be the last 12 posts, the music that's been selected, and that'll be coming out soon. So I'm looking forward to putting it out there for people to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's available on Apple Music and Spotify. So
Yeah,
whichever of your favourite vendors of music, it'll be available on both.
as will this podcast.
As for the podcast.
Yeah,
Little plugs for you there. All available
yeah,
on the socials
yeah.
in TikTok.
It's like what they
Yeah.
used to say with books, isn't it? Available in all good bookstores.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do we say now? Available on all good streaming sites, I guess. Social
yeah.
media sites. I don't know.
Podcast vendors.
Podcast vendors. Is that what they call us?
Yeah, yeah. Podcast. Yeah. Bus wankers. Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it going out, and hopefully, I know it'll take time, but hopefully people listen and don't think we're a bunch of dickheads. Got something interesting to say, and the stories and stuff like that. But I think in time, covering topics and that we spoke about, and just hearing people's stories would be really cool. Some
Absolutely.
ongoing themes for us as well, like people's mail days, our mail days. Everyone loves to know what people are getting in the post, don't they?
Absolutely. And we'll look forward to the journey continuing and getting people involved.
Yeah. All right. Well, MC, it's been a pleasure.
BC, the pleasure's all mine.
And as our mate Peter Crouch would say, regards to your family.
Until next time, all the best to the family.
Yeah.
See you on the
I'll
next
see
one.
you soon.